Hello, Bulls Nation. Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Postgame presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app and be sure to use promo code CHGO when you sign up. I'm Pack. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Pack.
There it is.
That's my guy, Big Dave. He is at Pal, BAWL Sports. Wow. Our guy, Joey Spath, is
running around like a madman right now.
Oh, poor Joseph.
Getting his cardio in.
We are CHGO_Bulls. Our guy, Will the Goat Gottlieb, is at the UC. He will join us later on in tonight's postgame show.
Sorry, Will.
Bulls fall to the Thunder of Oklahoma City. 124-110 is the final, dropping the Bulls to 19-24 on the season.
Hooray.
And I'm just about at the end of my goddamn rope, Dave. How y'all doing, Bulls Nation?
There it is. And there it is now.
This team has broken my spirit.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Bulls. You have broken my spirit.
Yeah. Well, one good thing is it's inspired Joey's creativity with your hat throws and these new graphics that he's got going on and shit like that. So, yeah. Did you see the new hat graphic that he put up?
I only caught the end of it.
Okay, all right, yeah. It inspired him. So that's the only good thing about this. But, yeah.
Thank you, Joseph.
There he is, man. Put it there. Look at Joseph. Yeah, all those hats are going to go flying.
Doing impeccable work.
He does. But the Bulls are not doing impeccable work.
They are not. What's the opposite of impeccable work?
Trash, I guess.
Trash.
It's like just the hottest of trash. I don't know where to begin. Like, they gave up 70 plus.
72. A season high 72 points allowed in the first half.
In the first half. A season high to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Mm-hmm. Let's point that out there. Mm-hmm. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Mm-hmm. And the defense, Matt. The defense was just an atrocity. It was laughable.
Are you talking about their half-court defense or their transition defense? Because yes. Both terrible.
Both really, truly bad. And then they added in a whole new element for me, which was extra bad turnovers. Just the worst turnovers I've seen them make all season long.
That sequence in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When they fought their way back in the third.
Yeah.
Good for you, Bulls.
Thank you,
Dug
Bulls.
yourselves another hole.
Yeah.
Dug your way out of it. Mm-hmm. They go into the fourth quarter, what, down two? Right? Down 2 or 3, something like that? Yeah.
I think it was 1.
And in the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, they turned the ball over 4 times.
Yes.
Including 2 baffling back-to-back turnovers, one from Dragic, one from Ayo.
Yeah.
Where they were just like, oh, hey, hello, Thunder. Would you like this basketball? Here, take this basketball.
Yeah.
Also, we're not even going to try in transition.
Yeah.
Have some free points as well.
It was so, like, bad. It was just so bad. Just the level of basketball that they are at right now was truly, truly atrocious. And you didn't have DeMar out there to, put some salve on anything for you, because his salve honestly would have won that game for them. But you didn't have that. You tried to lean on Zach.
Those are salveless.
They were salveless. You tried to lean on Zach. He didn't have it going until the fourth quarter when he started, scoring a little bit in the fourth. But the first 3 quarters, he did not have it. But he was getting to the foul line.
He got to the free throw line.
Career high.
Just couldn't hit water out of a boat when he was trying to knock down some shots.
Yeah, career high of 15 attempts from the free throw line for Zach. But, man, dude, just the defense was just, I can't express enough how atrocious that defense was for the Chicago Bulls tonight. All of them, everybody, was just bad. Late on rotations. They were just cutting and slashing. They would set the pick and they would roll or they would pop. And as soon as they set the pick, the Bulls didn't know what to do as soon as they set the pick. And it was just guys wide open. Jalen Williams.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
Which one are you talking about, Jalen Williams or Jalen Williams?
My main man, Jalen Williams, Santa Clara's own Jalen Williams, man. Balled out on that team, man. He was just using his size. He was physical. 22 and 8 for him. But he was 10 of 12 from the field.
Man.
10 of 12.
That dude knows how to get to the bucket.
Yes, he does.
I mean, the Bulls didn't make it hard for him.
No.
But that dude knows how to get to the bucket.
He knows how to get it, man. But, man, just turnovers and turnovers and turnovers. And it was just really bad. It was we were reading what Billy Donovan said, he tries to tell the team before the game.
Yes.
I remember when I read that again just to say it out loud for y'all. They did all of those things that he is telling them not to do. They did all of them. They did every single last bit one of them and added an element of worse turnovers to it. So they said, we see you're bad. We're going to raise you some trash.
Let's revisit that, shall we? Billy Donovan quote after the Wizards lost.
Run that down.
Let's get some stops. Yeah, they did in the third to get back in.
They did.
In the fourth, not so much.
Not so much.
Let's not foul. They fouled. Let's not have breakdowns. Take your pick. The Bulls had nothing but breakdowns in the fourth quarter. Let's not do things that are going to beat ourselves. That's all the Bulls did in the fourth quarter.
That's all they did.
What's going to beat ourselves? Turning the ball over. Check.
Yep.
Giving up second chance points. Check. Yep. Bad possessions on offense. Check. And fouling. Big, fat, freaking check. God.
There it is. Another one. One more, Matt, for me, please. Thank you, sir.
I'm so freaking sick of this team, man.
Yeah, man.
Bad. Joey, that is nice. That is
Isn't it nice?
Yeah,
Isn't it nice?
It goes slow, though, so it doesn't.
No, man, no. You cannot stop the rage.
I'm saying the hat counter goes slow. Like,
the hat counter goes slow.
Look how slowly it takes for it to, like, I like when it comes in from the top, but we might have to lose that part because when he throws them in succession, it takes too long for it to come back.
Well, it thinks a normal human with a normal amount of rage, it probably takes that time. They don't understand this is Matt Peck.
I'm going to make a
second. You told me to throw the last one.
I did.
I'm going to make a
and I meant it.
second one.
And I'm going to tell you to throw another one later on, too, because this was some bullshit. Sitting here watching this team perform, man. It was a failure on every level for me. You know, every single level, offense, defense, and coaching. It was a failure on every single level for me, sir. I hated all of it. I really did. I guess the bright spot for me was, Kobe White was a great bright spot. He came out early and was very, very just set the tone for the Chicago Bulls early on, hitting those three-pointers. His ball handling was awesome. He was getting over on screens. He was the one. Kobe White was like, fine, I'll be the one who tries to lead us to victory. 4-9 from the three, 7-15 shooting. But it was just the fact he had 19, 6, and 6 off the bench. That is pretty damn awesome for Kobe White. What was he, a +4? Yeah. And then Patrick Williams finally decided to show up and play basketball in that, third quarter? Mm-hmm. Decided to show up and play some basketball for the Bulls. And we're watching him do those things. And you were saying, Matt, this is why it's so frustrating sometimes watching Pat, because you're like, yes, you could do this all the time. Like, look how skilled you are. When he went up and he double clutched with one hand,
double clutch floater,
it just put it back in. Dude. That was like, dude, you can do this all the time. You got this in you. Like I said, a mutant who's just discovering his powers and still doesn't know it yet. That's who he is,
dude,
man.
Do you not understand and realize these gifts that you have, these physical tools that you have?
Yeah.
Because we see you use them sometimes.
Yeah.
And then far too often we see you forget that you have them and not use them.
Correct. And, yeah, I didn't like it. And it wasn't consistent enough for me. And, again, Jalen Williams was giving him the flux. He was getting beat on drives, on crossovers. Lou Dort was giving him the flux. Like, as soon as he get that crossover, he was gone. But, yeah, he tried to put points on the board for the Bulls and do it that way. Nikola Vucevic, I don't like the fact he had 14 shots. I thought he should have had like 20. You know what I mean? At least 20, 25, dude. He was the tallest dude on the floor. You got to give that dude the basketball. 4 point guards on your team, nobody can make an entry pass. That is the goddamn problem, man. 4, no entry, and you struggle with entry passing to Nikola Vucevic. He has to come out of the paint to get the basketball. That's why he has to come out. Like, he's got to get the ball, and then you try to run the offense through there. The entry pass, and it's just guards that are fronting them. You know what I'm saying? And they're struggling with that. I like the adjustment Caruso made when Jalen Williams was fronting him. He said, "Oh, how about I move? How about I move? And when I move, let me just lob it up there for him because he's taller than the person who's guarding him."
Yeah. And, yeah, you saw after that bucket, that was part of the Bulls' comeback. That forced a Thunder timeout, and coming back down the floor, Vooch and Caruso had a quick little eye contact moment. They're like, oh, yeah, that was easy. Let's probably do that again.
Yeah. We should do that more often, huh? They did not. Right. Then they did not. But he should definitely have – this is the second game. I thought he should have just had more shots and more attempts. And he ended up taking some threes that I was like, those aren't the threes that you want him to take. You know what I mean? Like, he's supposed to be set with his shot. He's not a guy who's crossing you over. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting those kind of threes like that. No, supposed to be set with the shot, wide open, pull the trigger. He wasn't being set up correctly. I didn't like that at all. Ayo Dosunmu struggled again. Also, 2 points, 4 rebounds.
Somebody in the comments
2 assists.
saying, "Is it time to talk about starting Kobe instead of Ayo because of how badly Ayo struggled tonight?"
I mean, he struggled, bro. 0-5 from the field, man.
And foul trouble.
And foul trouble, dog. And turnovers. The turnovers are evident too. Those were big turnovers.
That one he had in the fourth quarter,
Oof.
and that's when things were starting to unravel.
Yeah.
But that was an awful turnover.
Awful turnover. The foul started early for him. He got a foul the first 3 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
The very first 3 seconds into the game, Ayo Dosunmu was called for a foul. So
when he got switched on to Giddey, I think it was like, middle of the second quarter, maybe even early in the second quarter, and Giddey got an and one on him. I remember you looking over to me and saying, "Is that his third?" And I was like, "Wait, third? What time is it?" And then I heard Sinclair in the background going, "Ayo's third." And I was like, "Oh, crap."
3 fouls. And they had just sat Dragic down, and then he picked that foul up right there. So, yeah, he had 3 fouls. He ended up with 4 fouls and 3 turnovers. But, yeah, man, it was just a tough game and a bad game all around. And I shouldn't even say a tough game because tough game implies that they were actually in it, and they actually were doing things to make it tough on the other team. That was a cakewalk, for OKC, man. They did whatever they wanted to. Oh, you want to cut right here? We got you. Oh, you want to shoot these threes? We got you. Mid-range all day. We getting these fouls too? Yup. They did whatever they wanted to do, man. You talked about the transition defense right there. Like, it was bad. It was putrid. What about the 3-on-1 break when you got Dragic running with Zach LaVine?
Horrible spacing.
The spacing was just poor.
And then Dragic was like, "What if I pick up my dribble but then jump into the air and then lose the ball and float it in front of me, and then it bounces off a Thunder player and roll?" And oh my god,
it was so bad. And it was so bad. And also Billy Donovan, man, the timeouts that we talked about at that in that fourth quarter, dude. You invoke the name, Matt, of the ball-headed menace, dude, because of the way he took the timeouts. You invoked the name, and it was actually correct, and I hated it. And I hated every second of it.
Back-to-back late fourth quarter timeouts when that game was over, and he called the first of the 2 consecutive timeouts. So you're like, "Oh, okay, he's gonna pull his guys and send in the scrubs," and he didn't. And Zach was still out there, and Vooch was still out there. And then the Thunder got another bucket, and then Billy was like, "Okay, timeout," and then put Dalen in. But
good God, man!
Wow!
It was just wow, dog. Like, what is this? Is it true? Are they tuning him out? Are they not hearing what he's saying? Is he not clicking with this team right now?
Yeah,
because that just looked like a team that was just out there, man.
As you might expect, there's a lot of discourse going on in our comments right now, talking about who's to blame, and of course some people are pointing their finger at Billy. Shai's son, I'm going to go ahead and pretend that you didn't just throw the name Mark Jackson into our Bulls postgame chat. Get the F out of here with that nonsense. Yeah, I'm sure he'll solve this problem.
You know who's not to blame? CHGO, hit the like button.
That's fair.
I mean, we probably deserve some.
Some? We do? No.
I don't know.
We the reason they came back.
Maybe I do. Maybe not you.
No, shout out to my man Simon from Finders Keep. As soon as he came in here, said, "Hey, let's get these 5 stops." They went and got 5 stops.
That's true.
And then they went on a run and cut the lead to 1. He did, and he put all his powers there. And then the powers of sucking said, "Nope, we're going to go ahead and take over."
As you guys were clapping along and be like, "Oh, yeah," as the Bulls were like, "Okay, got it down to 12. Oh, it's back up to 14. Okay, got it down to 10. Okay, it's back up to 12. I was sitting there saying, "They're going to lose this game, guys." And you guys were like, "Oh, come on." I was like,
slow down. Slow down.
Okay, no. You were laughing.
Yes, I was.
And Simon was like, "Oh, come on."
No, it was Simon's first time with you. So he didn't understand what was going on.
Simon had to learn.
It was his first time with you.
I can see these Bulls things happening that are terrible before they happen.
We could feel them. We know what it was. But it was enjoyable to come back. It was nice.
But
and then it got the one that said, "Oh, we're not going to do this tonight."
Look, I see some people in the comments saying this is all Billy's fault.
No,
and then I
it's
see
not.
some people in the comments saying this isn't Billy's fault at all. Guess what? Somewhere in the middle,
yes,
Billy is one of several people
Yeah.
who shoulder blame and responsibility
Agreed.
for this season that is circling the drain.
Agreed.
You know who else bears responsibility? His bosses.
Correct.
For assembling this roster.
Yeah.
And probably, just trigger warning,
Uh-oh.
probably the same people who are going to keep this roster together through the trade deadline. Prepare yourselves, Bulls Nation. That's all I'm going to say. Prepare yourselves for that very real possibility. You know who else is at fault and shoulder some of this responsibility?
Who that, man?
Billy's players, who went out tonight and once again ignored all of the things that he told them to do and not do. How do you blame Billy squarely for that?
Yeah.
You can say, is it fair to question, has this team tuned him out?
Yeah.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah, it's a whole different conversation.
And maybe it's one we need to have.
Yeah, then pointing
If they have tuned him out,
Yeah.
then we need to have that conversation. And
Yeah.
extension or not, the Bulls as a franchise have to recognize that and do something about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But X's and O's wise, you cannot squarely pin tonight on Billy. You can pin some of it on Billy.
Sure. But not all of it. And nobody gets all of it, but everybody gets some. You know what I mean? Like, pass that around. Everybody's going to get a heaping helping of this serving right here. Everybody gets some of that, man. But, man, the players are definitely a huge part of that, man. I mean, Dragic wasn't at his best. Jones Jr., I can't even fault him. You know what I mean? I can't be mad at him because he was just doing Derrick Jones Jr. things. Like, I'm not relying on Derrick Jones Jr. to hit threes all the time. It's not my thing. I'm not worried about him doing that. He did what he could. He stopped the alley-oop. You know, he got 7 points and 4 rebounds. Yeah, that's Derrick Jones Jr. That's what he does. Andre Drummond played himself out of the game. He didn't even play because of what he did last game. He didn't even play, man. Billy didn't even put him off the bench. And yeah, I don't know if it would have helped. I don't know if it would have hurt. But he did not play him against a team that you could dominate with your size. He didn't feel the need to put him in the game, man. Yeah, man, we went over that starting. Alex Caruso. Oh, man. Look, everybody loves Alex Caruso, all right? We all do. We love Alex Caruso. But, man, look.
Let me preface what you're about to say with the fact that I believe I saw him knock down a couple of threes tonight.
He did.
So, yay.
Correct. 2 of 4 from 3. He was 2 of 4 from 3. Hit a couple threes tonight. But, man. Alex Caruso, bro, he has not been playing basketball very well as of late. Like you said, ever since he came back from that ankle injury, he has not been the same, man. C-Ray, yes, we miss Javonte, but he's not – I'm not putting Javonte on the reason you can't beat the Wizards and the Oklahoma City Thunder. You should still be able to win without Javonte Green or DeMar DeRozan. Right. You should still have
the Bulls win this game if they have DeMar and Javonte? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe they do.
Still could have and probably should have won it without those guys.
Yes. You're not supposed to get blown off your home floor. It was 124 to 110, bro. Like, they got blown off their floor. Wasn't even close. They got blown away.
Yes, but Dave, the Bulls briefly led for a part of the second quarter.
They did. That 46-42.
There's that.
The fact that I remember it is frustrating. That it was 46 to 42, but they dominated the Bulls in the paint as well. For a team without any size like that, I believe they're third in points per game in points in the paint. I think the stat that they showed said. I believe they had 65 on inside today. They had 65 points in the paint.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of points. And how about 23 points off turnovers as well? They dropped that one on you too. So they did what good teams do against bad teams, bro. Like, they out-executed you. They got all the loose balls, and they ran the half court. They ran the transition. Like, they did everything better than you did tonight on your home floor. They did everything better, man. 72 in the first half should let you know.
72
in the first half, bro.
They really tightened things up, though, and only gave up, 52 in the second half?
Crazy.
Nice job, Bulls. But the fact that they tightened the defensive cruise a little bit turned out to be inconsequential because their offense in the fourth quarter was a monkey trying to hump a doorknob.
What? That's a new one.
Joe,
you heard this
not
phrase?
A new one.
Joe, you heard this phrase
That's
before?
Rip Torn, baby.
Oh, okay.
From
All right.
Dodgeball.
Thank you very much. All right, shout out. Rest in peace, Rip Torn, man.
Rip Torn's the man.
He is amazing.
We got to take a break. Then we'll come back and continue commiserating about this terrible loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oh,
we'll
man.
also get to all of those super chats we see rolling in as well. Do us a solid, hit that thumbs up button while we're sharing some words with from our friends and sponsors. Tonight's episode of Postgame brought to you guys by our friends at Green Ridge Farm.
Yeah.
I need to de-stress.
You do.
When I get home, I'm going to open up my fridge.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to de-stress with a meat stick.
Nice.
Maybe two. Green Ridge Farm is a Chicago local meat and cheese company offering a better all-natural option. Makers of all-natural deli meat, sausages, and their famous meat sticks.
Yeah.
Perfect for tailgating. Maybe you're hosting an NFL wildcard party this weekend.
Sounds fun.
Get some meat sticks at that party.
Yeah.
They're also great for post-workout snacking because every meat stick is packed with 16 grams of protein.
16.
Everybody needs their protein, Dave.
They do, man.
That real protein, not that fake protein.
I don't know what the.
Oh, you know what fake protein is.
Nobody knows what fake protein is.
You know what fake
protein is protein.
I get my protein from tofu.
Who gets that? I don't get no protein from tofu. I don't even eat it
Don't-
like that. What are you doing,
don't
dog?
start with
Come
me.
on, dude. Not
Don't-
tofu.
don't-
If you're going to know how I'm going, if you're going to get on me, know how I eat.
Dave gets his protein
know
from
how
fish.
I eat, sir. Thank
Gets
you,
his protein
Joey.
from
if you're going to
fish.
get on me, know how I eat, all right?
Fish meat is practically a vegetable. Quotes, Ron Swanson. They're delicious because they're made from recipes generations in the making. And being all natural, they deliver a fresh and flavorful alternative at snack time. You can always find these Green Ridge Farm products in the refrigerated section at Costco and Sam's Club, plus all of your favorite Chicagoland grocery stores. And right now, if you go to their website and shop there, greenridgefarm.com, place 3 of their products in your shopping cart, add some meat sticks to your order with promo code CHGO at checkout.
Yeah.
Those meat sticks are free.
Free!
That's right. One more time. greenridgefarm.com, promo code CHGO at checkout. Have some meat sticks in that cart. Those meat sticks will be free.
Free meat sticks.
Do it.
Do it.
Real protein,
Yeah.
not fake protein.
It's not a thing, kids.
It is.
It is not. Lighting! You got to have it right, y'all. You gonna cut off my ad right
So,
there, Joey? That's how we do it?
Mark says
Just step
tofu.
in on my ad now. You just gonna keep talking over me and
Yes.
cut in on my ads?
Yes,
when
I
I was
am.
about to get going like
I
that?
am.
It's very
I
rude
am.
of you, Joey. I thought better of you, sir. You should be a little better than
He
that.
called Matt an MFer. He said it's a complete protein, motherfucker.
Why you have to curse? You cut in on me to curse?
Okay, you know
How
what?
dare
Continue.
Mark is the one who cursed. Joey's just reading his words.
Well, no, he said MFer.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Like, that's what that
Dave
said.
has
You're right.
there.
That says MFer.
It's been a tough day on the show for abbreviations. We had boyfriend breakfast thing earlier.
The
Got this.
gram.
All right, back to
This
comment.
is why you cut me off. This is why you cut me in. He cut in for that. Yeah, toss that. Toss that. That's for you, Joey.
That's for you, Joseph. That's for you, Joseph. Bucket hat. That's for you too, Joseph.
Oh, man. Oh, the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, y'all. It's committed to helping families and businesses in the communities we serve manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future. ComEd offers a wide array of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across our territory. Customers can inquire about how to upgrade outdated lighting to energy and money-saving efficient LED lights. Learn more about network lighting to operate your lights through your mobile device and track your facility's energy usage, and much, much more. Incentives have recently increased for indoor, outdoor lighting, network lighting controls, making these projects even more cost-efficient than ever before. So, visit ComEd.com/Shai, powering biz, that's B-I-Z, now, and start saving money and energy, because those are two cool things to do. To start a project, contact them at 1-855-433-2700, and for more information, email business that's 2 E's, at ComEd.com or public sector at ComEd.com.
Shout out to our guy Jared, part of our CHGO baseball
Hey,
coverage team. I
what's
see him in the
happening?
comments. He wants another hat throw.
There it
That
is.
was for you,
That's
Jared.
for you, Jared.
Man,
That's
no
for
shortage
you.
of head throws tonight. I am pissed.
They getting tossed.
I am pissed.
Tossed.
Speaking of pissed, I'm guessing we have some pissed people in the comments in the super chats, Joseph.
Let's do it.
Let's do some super chatting.
Am I supposed to read them or you want to read them? Or?
You go right ahead, sir.
All right. AK, number one fan. Defense is non-existent. They just let guys get past them, and our help breaks down too. The turnovers and overall atrocious game.
Yeah, I mean it's not a great combination when the Bulls turn the ball over and then also can't get back in transition, which you saw plenty of tonight. It's you can maybe survive one of those things, but when you're careless with the ball and your defense is just nowhere to be found, you're gonna get eaten alive all night. That's what we watched happen tonight.
Another
Over and
one
over
from.
again.
Sorry, go Dave.
No, just say over and over again.
Another one. Not trying to interrupt anyone here.
You already did.
I'm trying to butt in.
No. Don't step on it twice, bro. You already messed up.
Another one
And
from
didn't
AK.
Apologize. You didn't apologize.
I
Didn't
do
say
apologize.
nothing.
That was
Just
my
kept doing
fault.
his thing. You know what I'm saying,
No, I've
man?
started the
Just
new.
rude.
I'm on my new.
Rude. The youths.
I'm
You
in
guys
the.
gonna be odd coupling the whole time we're in Paris?
The youths are rude.
I'm in the
not
era.
joking.
I'm in my. No, I'm in my era of accountability. Remember, I take full accountability for interrupting you during
Full
the
got called out
accountability,
for it.
except for the fact that you still owe me a term paper, young man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Chat
I
GPT
have
do
not
it.
seen that term paper on my desk.
Understand that DeMar is out, but good teams don't get blown out like this to sub 500 clubs consistently. Guess what? We're also a sub 500 club. Bulls have an easier schedule remaining, but that means trouble for the Bulls.
Yeah, but I mean, AK's point is a simple one, but points out an obvious additional point. He said good teams don't get blown out like this to sub 500
They're not- we're
teams.
not one of those.
The Bulls, not a good team.
Nope.
You can't lose this many games to teams like this. And I'm not trying to insult, the Thunder or the Wizards or whoever, but the Bulls were routinely beating up these teams last season.
Yep.
That is what allowed them to jump out to that incredible start and have sole possession or partial possession of the first seed in the East for 2/3 of an entire season because they beat up these teams. Couldn't beat the good ones, but they beat these teams up.
Yeah.
Now we somehow have flipped that. They get up to play teams like Boston, like Milwaukee, like Brooklyn, and they win those games. Consistently win those games, or at least are competitive in those games. And this is what we get against the mid-tier teams and the poop teams and the stinkiest poop teams. Why? Because they're not a good team themselves.
Bam.
Spoken like a true scholar. The stinkiest poop teams.
Sometimes you just got to call a turd, Joseph.
Andrew Boudreau, referred to as Drew earlier by Dave. Not sure if, they're buddies or not, but I'll go with Drew. I'm going to eat a sleeve of graham crackers now. Well, that's a good call.
I don't even know if a sleeve of graham crackers and a tall glass of milk will help this problem.
Yeah. It's
Probably
true.
going to lean towards meat stick over graham cracker.
2 of them. Just get 2.
Yeah.
Get 2 of them meat sticks, man.
Meat sticks do curb my rage a little bit.
Do they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We
Okay.
need a meat stick table next to the
Dude, oh my God.
next to the hat table.
Why do I not have a meat stick table next to my hat throwing table?
Would that be a good thing? 'Cause
Yes.
I think you'd be angry and start throwing meat sticks.
That'd be a problem for your cholesterol.
At some point I would just become, speaking of Rip Torn and Dodgeball, I would become Ben Stiller in Dodgeball, but at the end,
Yeah,
where he's
right.
gained all the
He's
weight
just- right.
back, and
Exactly.
he's just sitting sunk into his couch.
Exactly.
He's got a bucket of chicken in this little nook. He's got, like a bunch of candy bars over here,
Yep.
2-liter of soda on the cover. Fucking
like it.
Chuck Norris.
You know yourself.
Yeah.
You understand?
I can't get too comfortable
Yeah.
because then
He's going to be comfortable.
because then I'm 500 pounds.
The Duke. Time
The
to
Duke.
blow it up. This team ain't it. Shame on me for thinking the Bulls are on the rise last year. Hashtag pain. And then another one from the Duke.
Hey.
$20. Does this team even practice?
Oh, man.
Like, seriously, are they at all prepared for these games? Do they think it's a mad team, we should be fine? Bulls, you are a mad team. I hate everything. Gonna go drown myself in ice cream.
There it is. See, we just
Ice cream, graham crackers, meat sticks.
What you just say?
Everyone's got their own thing.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
you are a meh team. So,
Meh.
but the question about practicing from the Duke, though, I think what's important to clarify is that most NBA teams in season don't hold like regular, consistent practices. Not the same way that they do in training camp.
Yeah.
You have morning shoot around, and then you got a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Which collectively are, for lack of a better term or a similar term, you want to call them practice, you can call them practice.
Sure.
Morning shoot around, kind of like a practice. And then a walkthrough is just X's and O's.
Right.
Let's make sure we're all on the same page for what the game plan is against tonight's opponent. Mm-hmm. On top of that, are there occasionally, hey, we're going to do like a good 1 or 2 hour like practice spliced into the season sporadically? Yeah, but they're not consistent. And it's not normal for them to be consistent like that.
I like how you broke that down right there.
I
It
mean,
made a lot of sense.
As far as how I understand the NBA schedule and how these teams operate, that's what it is.
Yeah, man. Like I go back again though to this whole idea of things just not clicking. Like, is it a tune out? What is going on here?
Right.
Because it just really feels this way. You know, just sitting there watching this, and when Billy is telling you exactly what to do, and you know the problem, and you know how to issue, and you know what you need to do, and you know you need to get the ball down the Vooch, and you know you need to stop these turnovers, and you know you need to play better on defense, and you know when the guys are cutting, you know when they're slashing, but the effort is not being put in there. That one play when Stacey broke down, where he showed Zach LaVine, who didn't come in to get that help defense on Lou Dort, who was driving on Patrick Williams, and he's supposed to come over for that help defense, and he did not. You know to do that. Like, you know it. You know exactly what to do right there. You know you're supposed to come over, hit him with that help defense, but no, he didn't do that, so then the ball swings around, wide open three-point shot for Giddey. Like, you know these things. And when he hit it, immediately I said timeout. Like it was so many timeout threes going on tonight, man. Like, Billy's hand, I want to see the inside of his hand, because this thing got to be red right here, because I'm just doing this like all night long, man. This has to be red for Billy Donovan, man. But yeah, man, it was bad. And again, OKC is, I'm not trying to take this away from them. Like, this isn't a good basketball team.
They beat Philly last night.
Right. They beat Philly and Miami 3 out of the 4 games here in the East. You know what I'm saying? And Miami, Philly.
They're a tough young team.
They're a very tough young team, man. Still a team.
They now have a record better than ours.
Boom. Right there.
After tonight's win.
Right there. But that's still a team you're supposed to be better and compete against at home when they're coming off a back-to-back.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Going back to the whole practice discussion, I see you, Scott, and I know you come in here to troll Zach LaVine sometimes. Sometimes Zach LaVine is deserving of criticism, and we talked about the fact that Zach had kind of an up-and-down game tonight. He wasn't hitting his shots, but he wasn't doing anything stupid on the offensive end, and he was getting to the free throw line. It was a so-so game from Zach.
Yeah, it was.
But Scott in the comments saying you can't make Zach practice or he tries to mutiny his coach. Don't twist the truth to make yourself sound smarter or funnier, because then you're just giving misinformation to a group of people. Was Zach LaVine one of the players who did not want to deal with that boiling bullshit that caused the near mutiny to happen?
Thank you, Joseph.
Yes. Was he the only person on that Bulls team who said, F that nonsense, we're not doing that? No. Because it was several players who didn't want to put up with that BS.
True.
And then that word got leaked from the Bulls locker room to Bulls media to around the entire league. And you know what everybody else did, whether they be analysts, players, coaches, executives? They all turned and said, wow, Bush League shit from Jim Boylan. No wonder they mutinied.
Yep.
Do not pin that squarely on Zach, because that's nonsense.
Very much so.
And I'm not sitting here saying you cannot say anything bad about Zach LaVine, because we criticize that man when it's deserved. Yeah. But get out of here with that trash.
No, and I remember that well. I remember that whole thing very well. Yeah, man, it was bad. And then it was just a bad decision, the whole bad situation, and one of the reasons why this dude isn't coaching anymore in the NBA. There's a reason for that, you know? There's reasons for these things, guys. He's not around coaching in the NBA. What, Team USA? Basketball? That's where he's at. And that's where he's going to probably stay. But, yeah, it's just bad. But
yeah, he's like coaching the under-13 team or whatever.
Right. I found myself.
Yeah, his job is to prepare the child for the road.
Yes.
Not the road for the child.
For the child.
And these guys are men.
That's right. No double losing over here. My friend from New Jersey brings that up to me all the time because he still can't believe that was said.
Oh.
He was like, wait, he said what? This is years ago I told him. I was like, you don't know pain. I was like, this is what I was dealing with. He brings it up to me all the time. Double lose? He'll just stop and say, double lose? Yeah, double lose, bro. This happened many a day. It happened. But oh my God. But yeah, man, that's how bad of a loss this was, though. This is how these last two losses have been for the Bulls. This is who we're invoking the name of.
This is bad.
This is who we're bringing out.
And look, to turn it on its head a little bit, we have talked about the relationship between Zach and DeMar. And, is this DeMar's team or is it Zach's team? Zach's the one who just got the big contract. Shouldn't Zach be the one leading this team to victories late in games? The Bulls now in these 2 games without DeMar DeRozan, Zach has done some things. Like, what did he put up in their loss to the Wizards on Wednesday? Like 30-something?
Like close to
almost
40. I think he had 38.
Yeah, almost 40.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And tonight, shots not falling, but he still gets a career-high number of free throw attempts because he refuses to give up and is just attacking the basket. I mean, good and bad from Zach. Yeah. But he did not lead his team to victory in either of these games.
And
it's
also
fair to say that.
Yeah, it's very fair to say that. And he's going to need help. Like, if he doesn't have it going, who's coming with him? And you can say Kobe White for sure. Kobe White wanted to play. He wanted to come with him. Patrick Williams for 1 quarter wanted to play, wanted to come with him. But it wasn't enough because what you also needed help with was the defensive end of the ball. And when they made their run in that third quarter, Matt, and they got those stops, it felt like after that third quarter was over, they were over. They were like, okay, we did it. We got it down to 1. We did what we were supposed to do. Thanks. And we've seen that these last 2 games, right? When they went up by 15, got into that halftime. All right, but 15, we can coast here from now, guys. We're cool. And then got blown out. So I don't understand the disconnect. That's my main thing right now, is trying to understand the disconnect, because I hear what Billy is saying, and he's pointing out everything that we're seeing and we're saying. Mm-hmm. So we're not crazy. We're seeing the reasons why, but it's not being translated to the floor. And that's an issue. And that's where the big issue is right here, man. So they got to figure out that problem, bro. Got to. It ain't going to get easier.
No, it's not. Before we take another quick break here, just wanted to give a shout-out to this super chat from Ramses Rendon, who said, we need to hear from Arturas. I saw somebody else saying Arturas' resume, drafted Nikola Jokic, end of resume. Thought that was pretty funny. Look, I think that we will hear from Arturas at the trade deadline. Whether the Bulls make a move or moves or zero moves, they will always speak at the trade deadline.
They always do.
That's usually the one time mid-season that you'll hear from the front office, unless they are a more vocal front office, which Arturas is clearly not. I think that dude, if you gave him a choice of, having nails driven into the, his elbows and his knees and all over while, being set ablaze, or speaking to the public, he would choose the former of those 2 options. That man looks uncomfortable as hell anytime he has microphones in front of him.
So what kind of nails are you talking about?
Oh, beat up rusty ones.
Yeah,
real chunky ones.
Yeah, he might take a day to think on it. Might take a day, but
all I'm saying is, do we hear from him before that? I highly doubt it. Do I think this fan base deserves to hear from people at the top based on the way things are going right now? Yes. I always want to hear from this team's front office. And who's upstairs? Who's all the way upstairs? I want to hear from them more often than we do also. But, don't get your hopes up. If you're hoping to hear from Arturas speak before the trade deadline comes and goes and he tells us why he did what he did or didn't do, I think you're going to be disappointed.
Real talk. It's real right there, man. That's what it is. All right, do we take this break now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's take a break.
Let's
talk about some things.
Take a break.
And talk about pins and... Oh, let me wait. Joey, anything you want to say? You want to step on it? Okay, all right, just check. Pins and Aces, the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. We love our Pins and Aces gear. And you're going to get tons of compliments on it, on and off the golf course. It ain't just for the golf course, y'all. You can rock that outside doing whatever you want to do and just still look official and absolutely amazing. They are a family-owned golf and apparel business. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, and even that world-famous beer sleeve. Innovative product, y'all, that allows you to store 7 beers inside your golf bag and keep those drinks frosty cold the entire damn round. Or half a round, depending on who's doing
I was
the
gonna say
drinking.
7 beers is the perfect number of beers for a round of golf.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
7 beers,
Okay,
18 holes.
okay, all right. I'll take your word.
I could do 7 beers, 9 holes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No problem.
Oh, no, I believe in you.
But those swings would be a little less focused by the 8th and 9th hole.
Fair enough. Check out visitaces.com. Use that code CHGO. Receive 15% off your first order and get your wonderful self some free shipping. That pinsandaces.com, because when you look good, you play good. And when you play good, it's all good.
Before I get to this ad read, Scott, I see you in the comments. All love this direction as well, buddy. Appreciate you for always hanging out with us, supporting us. You the man. I just couldn't let that stand. But you're right. I chewed you out about your throwing in the towel like over a month ago, and now you're coming to rub my nose in it. It looks like you were right.
Rub away.
Looks like you were right. But I wasn't ready to give up a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Who was?
Well, not ready to give up
Quitters.
a month and a half ago.
Now I'm joining the quitters. You know who didn't quit tonight, Dave?
Who didn't quit, man?
Kobe White.
Jacoby
Alec
White.
Jacoby White.
Yes.
Who is our DraftKings king of the game tonight? Only player on the Bulls, if you don't count Dalen Terry's +1 in garbage time, to register a positive number in that plus-minus column of the box score.
Yes.
19 points, including hitting 4 of his 9 threes. 6 boards. We've been talking about Kobe doing more work on the glass.
True.
And this team's desperate need for gang rebounding, especially from their guards.
Yeah.
Did that again tonight. Oh, and also assist to turnover ratio, 6-1. On a night when, yet again, the Bulls had a turnover problem. Kobe White off your bench got you 6 assists and 1 turnover.
If anybody has made that drastic improvement,
Man.
and it's been that man, Kobe White. The ball handling was an issue. He shortened that up.
Right.
The decision-making was an issue. He's gotten much better at that. The shooting needed to be more consistent. When he's a consistent shooter, these things become easy. Like you just said, they need help rebounding. He's like, hey, I'm 6'4", 6'5". I can get in there and get some of those boards too. He's done everything coming in off the bench. He's been a great role player for the Chicago Bulls, and just very consistent in what he has done so far this season, man. So, yeah, shout out to Kobe, man. You know I'm proud of it, especially the defense.
Man.
Especially the defense, man. It's been awesome.
That's your guy. And one more reminder, speaking of our DraftKings King of the Game, get your bets ready for this NFL Wild Card weekend.
Yeah.
To kick off the road to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Plus, all new and existing customers can get that no-sweat bet each day of the NFL Wild Card this weekend. Just place any NFL bet of your choice, and if it loses, you'll get a free bet back up to $10. Action so good, why bet the NFL playoffs?
Why?
Or the NBA, for that matter.
Why?
Anywhere else. Don't do it. Bet with DraftKings Sportsbook, our official betting partner at CHGO, which is also the promo code you use at sign-up.
Do you have any bet on the games? Do you know who's winning?
Well, we discussed in pregame briefly. I'm rolling with the Niners
Right, I
against the
remember that.
Seahawks.
Right.
And it's going to be hard. I need to take a closer look tomorrow morning.
Oh, I see. Cash only, eh? No paper trail, huh?
What are you doing, Joseph?
I didn't think it was going to be that loud. They all vary in volumes. I just played one. You didn't hear it.
I mean, would be cool to see the Dolphins upset the Bills, but I also want to see Josh Allen in more playoff games.
Yes.
So I'm probably going to roll with the Bills.
Dolphins
That's a
are also
huge spread,
starting-
though, 13 and a
They're
half.
starting a third-string quarterback.
Right. I was going to say no Tua.
No Teddy Bridgewater either.
Maybe I'll still take the Bills to cover, even though 13 and a half is a humongous number.
Colossal.
Giants Vikings. So want to take the Giants.
Okay.
By the way, to tell you how much Vegas has no faith in Kirk Cousins when it comes to important games. Despite being 13-4 at home, Vikings only 3-point favorites against the football giants of New York, who squeaked in at 9-7-1.
Giants are a smart football team, though. I'll give that to you. They are a
I
smart
love me a
football
little
team.
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, man. Saquon, yeah, he be on it, bro.
Yeah.
Smart team right there.
And then, the Monday night game, Cowboys-Bucks. Mm-hmm. I'm just rooting for the stadium to collapse. I don't know if you can bet on that at DraftKings, but
This dude rooting for the Bane. He's rooting for Bane. That's what he's out here for.
I was born in the dark, Dave.
Like, darkness is your ally. Oh, my gosh, man.
That was not an invitation to keep doing your Bane impression, Stays.
Sorry. Hey, no,
Tuck
you
that
put it
one
out
away.
there. You can't say those things about Bane and not have everybody get in on Bane. That's not it. Joey, you got a Bane?
You brought up Bane. You
Not
said
one that
Bane.
I want to share to all the people.
You must share your Bane. Yes.
Is that yours?
Come on.
I wondered what would break first. Your spirit
Or your
or your body?
Yes.
It wasn't terrible.
That wasn't terrible
Wasn't
at all.
terrible.
That wasn't terrible at all.
Thank you.
Had a little English accent on it too, man. I like that.
My Joker's a little better
twang.
than the Bane.
Your Joker's better?
Than the Bane, yeah.
Oh wow. You like a Heath Ledger Joker?
Yeah.
Oh snap. Okay.
It's Bane with a hint of Michael Caine in it.
Exactly. Just a dash. Just a dash.
Michael Caine
dash.
is, I failed you. You trusted me and I failed you.
Mr. Wayne.
Mr. Wyatt.
Mr. Wayne.
Mr. Wyatt.
Shout out to our guy, AK, who throws another super chat. Speaking of Kobe being the king of the game, one bright spot tonight and the past few games, the play of Kobe White. Loving his play on both ends of the ball. Here. I mean, truly, Kobe's been doing some wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if Billy has reached that point where it's like, man, contemplating putting him in the starting lineup instead of Ayo Dosunmu. But you did notice that in the start of that third quarter, he put Kobe in earlier, like 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
On a hook for Ayo. And partially, I think it was because Ayo picked up his fourth foul.
Correct.
But you wonder if that fourth foul didn't happen, maybe does Billy look to Kobe a little bit earlier because he's given you what he gives you defensively, and he's confidently knocking down shots. Hello, Joseph. Hi, how are you?
A lot of hands going on.
Oh, that could be we have a goat incoming kind of signaling, hand signal. There we go.
Yes.
Hey,
There he
it's
is.
Will the Goat Gottlieb, everybody. Follow him on Twitter at Will_Gottlieb.
Quaff King.
Checking in from the United Center. Will, 72 points surrendered in the first half. The Bulls climb back in the third. Wheels fall off the offense in the fourth quarter. What did you see?
Pretty much that. I mean, defense was quite bad. You can't really win basketball games if you're giving up free lanes to the rim every single time down. Billy Donovan made note of it. Zach LaVine made note of it. Alex Caruso made note of it. It just wasn't good enough. They keep on bringing up, we show flashes of it. We show in the fourth quarter we can get stops. We show, moments in a game. But we just need to have more consistency. We need to be able to do this for 48 minutes and longer stretches and whatever it is. But, I don't know, man. It's just, it's kind of surprising to me that they come into these games and you know your record. You're 19-23. You've got an easy stretch. You've got a chance to, get yourself back into the mix here. And you come out with that effort. Forget the fact that DeMar DeRozan didn't play. He's not a good defensive player. That shouldn't really affect whether you give up 72-odd points in the first half. So, to me, just simply not good enough effort. I think it comes from a lack of attention to detail, which to me comes from a lack of basketball IQ and awareness and a lack of interest. And those two things just make it's a recipe for failure. And that's kind of what you saw tonight. I mean, they did get themselves back in it. Had some good stretches there from Zach, who had a career high in free throw attempts and free throws made. Patrick Williams had, some points. Vooch played, I thought, pretty well out of the post. But when you're giving up points like that, it's just really difficult to get yourselves back into games. We talk about it all the time. The margin for error with this team is quite small. And unless you're playing at a super high level, you're just not going to win games. And in order to play at a super high level, you need to be perfect in attention to detail. And they weren't. And that's what happens. You just give up a ton of points.
Well, we've been trying to, at least let me speak for myself. I've been trying to figure out the disconnect here. because we hear Billy and he correctly points out what they're doing wrong and what they need to do better, the turnovers, the fouling, and things like that. And I'm sure he's conveying these messages to these players time after time after time after time. But for some reason, it isn't clicking and it isn't getting through. And they keep doing those same things over and over again. And tonight, it felt like they reached new levels of how to do those bad things over and over again. What is there something that we're not seeing? Is there a disconnect there that you could speak to, that you might have an idea about? Or I'm just trying to make sense of it all here. Why it's not going from Billy to the players and being done on the floor?
So that was also brought up to Billy and to Alex Caruso, who had some interesting things to say about it. But I think that the message is there. I think a lot of it just comes down to execution. And like I said, just getting your body in front of your man. Billy was saying, it's really difficult to step over to defend the rim if the guy who is guarding the ball provides zero resistance and it's just a runway. There's no time to step over and help if he's already at the rim. And if he's already at the rim, and even if the help does come, then the rotations aren't there quick enough. And so it's just this chain where if one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong. And we know Vucevic is not a premier rim protector. That's not the way that he plays. That's not the way that the Bulls play defense. They rely on point of attack, and when you're not defending the point of attack, you can't contain the ball. When you can't contain the ball, you have to be able to step over and protect the rim. When you can't do that, you're giving up layups. If you do that and your executions aren't right, you're giving up open threes. And so I think there's a lot more to it than just Billy says thing, team doesn't listen to Billy, stops executing. The equation is, I think, a little bit more complex than that. And the Bulls aren't doing something that's so foreign to what is a regular NBA defense that it's hard for the players to understand. This is what every team does. They're switching 1 through 4. They're stepping over as a low man to protect the rim. They are Xing out and zoning up on the weak side. And you got to get to the blocks and the elbows to box out. You got to find a body. And it's middle school stuff. It's elementary school stuff. And you're just not seeing it. And I don't know that you can really put that on a coach. I think, I guess part of it you can, you have to assign blame everywhere to that extent. There's a problem with the fact that the players aren't doing it, but I think it's just attention to detail and interest in accomplishing these things and working towards them. I know they're saying they're working hard and they always will, but it's just not happening. The results aren't showing, and they could go on a stretch here. They put together a great stretch of offense. Maybe they put together a great stretch of defense sometime down the line, but right now it's just not looking good. It certainly doesn't help that Javante's out, that Lonzo's out. We got some pretty less than inspiring updates about Lonzo pregame and this morning. But yeah, they're just not doing it. They're just simply not doing what they need to do out there defensively.
Will, I see a tweet from Cody Westerland, our guy over at 670, in my feed here about LaVine making a comment involving a torn ligament in his post-game media availability. Quote, "You drive the ball when you can't shoot. That's what happens when you have a torn ligament." Any other context you can add to that? Did you hear Zach say that? Is talking about the hand injury that caused him to be probable but active on tonight's injury report?
Yeah, we were just having a discussion about that before I hopped on here. He did say something to the effect of, I asked him, you had a career high in free throw attempts tonight. Do you have any reaction to that? And he said, you drive the ball when you can't shoot and you have a torn ligament. And he kind of said it walking off the, not podium, but out of the scrum as ending the interview. And it was just kind of shocked everyone. And he said it in a way that we couldn't really tell how serious he was. Obviously he was on the injury report with a probable hand bruise, but that seemed to me like a pretty big jump. Bulls PR clarified afterwards that he does not have a torn ligament, that it's a bruise. So kind of a weird thing for him to say. If it's true, if it's not true, regardless, it's kind of a weird thing, but it seems like it's not serious. He wasn't wearing anything during the game. He said this morning that he plays through these kinds of bumps and bruises all the time. sounds like it was just like a bruise of sort of like the surrounding capsule of the ligament. That's kind of what I was told.
Yeah, but like that kind of speaks to what I was just that disconnect. Like Zach is saying it, and then the Bulls are saying no, it's not. It's just little stuff like that kind of add into it.
Wait, are you talking about the fact that the Bulls are being a little unclear when it comes to players and their injuries? What? Well, that doesn't sound like them.
Be a surprise. Let me talk about something that I liked tonight, and that is Kobe White. And I enjoyed watching the way he played. Will, how impressed have you been with his play as of late on both sides of the ball?
I'm not going to say I was impressed by anyone defensively. I just don't think I can bring myself to do that. So I'll talk about the offense for now.
I didn't say tonight. I said as of late. That's why I prefaced it like that, sir.
Yeah, well, maybe we can try again tomorrow on the defense. But offensively, he's making shots, and that's kind of what they need from him. He ended up 6 of 14, 3 of 8 on threes, and he's just getting back. Like, to me, it feels like Kobe is kind of a rhythm guy, and when he's out there and he's got opportunities to shoot the ball, he's not so worried about like, this is my one shot, I got to make it. And he's getting some more minutes. DeMar being out helps his playing time, but also just the fact that they need shooters out there. And he's making plays. He's actually had some really nice passes and pick and roll, providing some shooting and spacing in transition, just some speed. So I really like what I've seen from Kobe offensively over this last stretch. I've written about it a couple of times, but it seems like the game is sort of slowing down for him, and he's making better reads, taking better shots, not rushing it quite as much. I do think that is translating to the defensive end for him, but like I said, I'm not ready to talk about defense.
Take it.
When it comes to this rotation of guards Billy is using, we had people asking us in the comments tonight, with Kobe's recent improvements, the way that he was, one of the most effective players on the floor for the Bulls tonight, and meanwhile Ayo Dosunmu really struggling. I'm not necessarily ready to suggest Billy make a starting lineup change in that regard with those two players, but curious to get your thoughts on the struggle that Ayo showed tonight. 0 for from the field, bunch of turnovers, foul trouble. What do you make of this recent stretch from Ayo?
Seems like tonight especially, everything went wrong for him. Like he was getting blown by defensively, which is obviously not what we're accustomed to seeing from him. Over 5, misses 3. Like you said, the turnovers were bad, the fouls were bad. It was not his night. He hasn't played particularly well the last couple games, and Kobe has. So I kind of suggested that, I think, maybe to you guys before the game the other night. But yeah, I mean, they need a source of reliability out there, and Ayo didn't provide that on either end tonight. Usually you can rely on his defense, but that wasn't even there tonight. Kobe at least gave you some offense. So I think what they should consider is just like a matchup-based starting lineup. You've obviously got your DeMar, Zach, and Vooch, and Patrick, and Kobe, or Patrick and Ayo, or Ayo and whoever. Like those two other spots, I think, could be a little bit more flexible. We saw them close today with Derrick Jones Jr. Playing alongside Vooch, and that lineup really worked. Billy said that Derrick had a better chance to defend Shai, just with his length and versatility there. So they've got options, and I think they should be a little bit more flexible, mixing and matching, and not being necessarily rigid in who starts.
Will, was Billy asked about Andre Drummond not playing tonight?
He was not. My guess would be that it was a matchup-based decision. He also played terribly in the last game, so I don't think he was like necessarily super excited about. I mean, what was it? That was like the 5 fouls in 5 minutes game. So, yeah. I
mean, that was my comment when Dave asked me. He's like, still no Drummond tonight in the third quarter. I was like, yeah, did you see him play Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we've talked about this team's inability to beat bad teams, but their weird, inexplicable ability to, meanwhile, be good teams. Earlier tonight, Will, now you look ahead to Sunday. Matinee, 2:30 Chicago time tip-off against the Warriors, who were in action tonight. Played the Alamo Dome game against the Spurs. Put up damn near 150 on the Spurs. What do you see changing from these losses to Washington and this loss to the Thunder tonight to try to say, okay, next game in front of us, one game at a time, because as Dave was mentioning, there seems to be some disconnect between what Billy wants from his guys and what they're doing out there.
I mean, you hope they can get up for it. You hope that this trend of being able to compete with good teams sustains. They also got smoked by the Warriors for like 3 3/4 game whenever they played last. I think it was in November. Obviously had that like furious comeback, but I mean the game was over by the time that happened, and the Warriors were just kind of dawdling out there. Warriors are not as good on the road. Steph is back. Andrew Wiggins is back, so they're whole. But yeah, I mean, look, I kind of mentioned this before. The Bulls don't have any more time to mess around. Like, I know we're past halfway point. There's half a season to go, but you're 5 games under 500 right now. You're out of the play-in. So if you want to be a competitive basketball team, you got to do it more than just against the good teams when they roll into town without their best players. You know, like it's just not good enough. And if they want to compete, they got to compete, and they got to do it for more than just the games that they think matter, because at this point they can't really afford to drop any games, whether it's good or bad.
No luxuries afforded to this group. Will, we appreciate your insight as always, buddy. Everybody make sure you're following Will on the Twitter machine, Will_Gottlieb, to get all of his great insights. He'll be back at the UC for that matinee game against the Warriors on Sunday. Make sure you're reading everything he's writing over there at allchgo.com.
Will, when can I expect that article on Kobe White's defense?
About the same time I get that paper from Joe.
Will, how's your Bane impression?
Not as good as Stacey King's.
None of us are, so.
We are out of here. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. We will see you at the tail end of the weekend. No pregame Sunday before Bulls Warriors. We will see you for postgame.
Yes.
One more quick shout out. Chuck Swirsky, the man, 2,000th career game broadcasting play-by-play in the National Basketball Association.
Yeah.
That man is a legend. Shout out to Chuck. For Will, Joseph, Big Dave, I'm Peck. Appreciate y'all, Bulls Nation. Hit that thumbs up button before you head out of here. We will talk to you Sunday. See Red be good.
It is.